This is Desert Moon Wellness. This is also Vegas Wellness Magazine. This is our magazine, everybody. This is the Biohacker Magazine for Las Vegas. All kinds of great information in here. We've got articles written by professionals and doctors and medical professionals all the time. We've got really good articles to try to give some information so we can all work together, okay? Janelle, my very good friend, and Corey, her husband, are on the cover, okay? I want you to pick up one of these and look at their story. They've got an amazing story about what they're doing for the community and really trying to get us all together so we can all help each other. That's what this is all about, and that's exactly what this whole meeting is about. So, without further ado, you can hear enough from me later. I want to welcome my very good friend, Janelle.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, John. Come back around. First, I just want to say thank you, John, for creating this community. It's amazing. My biohacking journey started a long time ago, and about 10 years ago, it became really serious when I had to save my own life, and that's when I really brought in mindset to the nutrition and the movement that I was already doing, did a full 360. And in that moment, I promised God and the universe we would pay forward what works. And today my husband and I own Desert Moon Wellness. We founded it in 2022 is when we opened. In 2020, we both made full career changes and dove into this world. And that's when we both started working for OxyHealth, who's the manufacturer of our hyperbaric chambers. And we've both been so lucky to work with doctors all around the country. We're connected to clinics and doctors all around the country. We've helped them onboard and help them with their protocols. They help us. And the best thing about Vegas and being here in Vegas is the community. You know, so you guys are all what makes it go around. I know there's tons of knowledge out here. I'm here just to be of some use and to remind you guys that you are your own best biohack. We are our own best medicine. The answers are within. To me, we have tons of cool fancy modalities at Desert Moon Hyperbarics and Wellness when you visit us, but it all starts within. This is the ancient wisdom. And I want to remind you guys of that. And how do we get there? How do we tap in? First, we have to start with removing interferences. So we do a lot of focus on cellular detox, nervous system assessment, see where you're at. We all are on these journeys. Our wheels of wellness look different for everyone. It's not a one size fits all. There's not a one pill, but there's a lot of things we can do. And when we take care of our bodies, our mitochondria thanks us. So we really focus on the mitochondria. We believe you fix a cell to get well, mind, body, and soul. If it's your day one, if you're just now hearing about biohacking, the first thing I would do is kind of do an inventory. Or what are the things dragging me down? What are the things affecting my mind, my body, my cells on a cellular level? And just kind of start letting those things go and replacing them with positives and seeing what works. You know, we are the outlaws of the original healthcare system. There's something at some point that turned us away and made us go down these little journeys and figuring out what works. And it's just so beautiful to see us all come together. And at Desert Moon Hyperbarics and Wellness, we were really lucky to be a bridge here in the community. We're working with a lot of MDs now. We realize we work with a lot of professional health athletes, a lot of people that are just so lucky to want to optimize their health and longevity. The truth is, not we all, but a lot of us, if we're not careful, at some point, if you're born into this world without mitochondria dysfunction, you're lucky. But at some point, it will happen. So, if you're just even hearing the word mitochondria as the powerhouse of your cells, when we get our cells working well, then everything's going to work well. We have to make sure our cells can detox properly and can let go. Otherwise, whatever supplements, whatever we do is not going to really make a big difference. So we do start with the nervous system assessment, and I really try to help people understand working with their circadian rhythms. We have the most beautiful sunrises and sunsets here in Las Vegas. If you're not watching them, please do. Go outside barefoot, gaze into that sunrise, gaze into the sunset, and gratitude. It's everything. It shifts our perspective. Our brain is the pilot, but if we let it be unruly, it'll take us down. So we kind of got to coach it. We got to be our own best advocate. And being said, I brought some little fun things I like to pass around. So this is a little mitochondria love for you in the morning. It's great to take first thing on an empty stomach. Do your own research, make sure it's good for you, but it's a very low dose methylene blue with PQQ and urethylene, and so it's really good for your mitochondria. I'm going to pass those around. Best 365 Labs actually donated them to us tonight. So, and this bag says, you are your own best medicine. That's why I got your own best biohack, because you guys, we have the answers within. So go ahead and pass that around. There's some more in here, and I also have some little squishy brains too for you guys. Yes, I love these. So I'll talk about the brain. Yeah. So a lot of people come to us. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is our core. Yeah, squish it. A lot of us will come to us for hyperbaric oxygen therapy for a specific reason. You know, for a specific injury, their doctor finally recommended it. But what they don't know is the brain health and the mental benefits that they're going to get out of it. We always have, on our first initial consultation after a nervous system assessment, we have everyone try the Braintap on a line mat, which you may be familiar with. And if you're not, please go visit Clark. He's got 2 line mats in there. That just kind of like helps balance and get you in heart coherence, balance the brain, the mind, and the body. And it's amazing how many people don't even know what that feels like. So many people are walking around in the sympathetic central nervous system burnout. We just don't even know. And hyperbarics have been in hospital basements since the 1950s, and they've been around for a few hundred years before that. The chambers that we use pressurize with ambient air. And we're focusing more on the off-label. We're trying to help everyone with inflammation, TBIs, concussions, general health and wellness, a lot of neuro disorders, any kind of with your mitochondria. And these are things the FDA is not going to approve for insurance. And so that's like we had to make it accessible. Autoimmune, like the list just goes on. The chamber, you know, the way it works, I'm gonna tell you this. So this is what's really cool. The ambient air chambers have just been researched for the past 30 years or so. And that's what more people are going to now, because the safety efficacy is so much safer. We realize we don't need the oxygen. It's not actually the oxygen that's providing the healing, it's the pressure. It is the pressure that allows our plasma, cerebral spinal, and lymphatic system to onboard more oxygen and allows our red blood cells to carry it where it needs to go. When we go through injuries, whether it's blast trauma, emotional trauma, a break, different things, you know, often we're told to go home and heal. And we hope the body will regenerate itself, but compounded, collecting them as we go. Sometimes we just need a little more oxygen to support the body. The chamber doesn't really know what's going on with the individual, but just supports it as a whole. But it all depends it meets you where your mitochondria is at when you start, and that little wheel of wellness, how well it's built out. So we know prior to any of this stuff, it's really important to optimize your sleep, your nutrition, your mindset, your movement, stand outside barefoot, get the natural PMF, balance your circadian rhythm, get the light therapy from the sun, and then start using fancy tools. You know, that stuff's just so important. It's something free we can all do. We can all do it. We can all move. We can all let go of things that are affecting us and taking us down so that we can get closer to our oneness and not the power within us, because we all have it. And then when you start using the fancy modalities, they're going to work so much better. But we also have some people that are like, Janelle, I can't even start there. I can't even start to do something for myself. So that's when tools like Braintap come in. Within 7 minutes, you're out of your own way. This is a practice that takes monks several years to develop, and within 7 minutes. I'm a deep meditator. I've done a lot of Kundalini. I have a lot of my own mantras and stuff, but it's taken me years to cultivate too. And for me to teach that to someone else, it's quite it's a process because it comes from within. And so Dr. Porter, like his whole mission is about brain fitness. We often talk about the body and the body fitness, but the brain's the pilot. Can't feel anything, but is dictating and telling us how everything feels. And that affects our mood. That's how we treat people. It affects our community. So I love that. We start everyone on the demo so you understand the technology, and then we're able to fine tune protocols specifically for you. It's actually the one item that most people take home with them because the whole family can use it. And it's gonna work better if you use it consistently. And then I know a lot of people end up developing their own meditations from Braintap. There's guided ones, there's binaural beats, He uses light frequencies called auriculotherapy. In Chinese medicine, it's called acupuncture. And those lights are balancing your brain waves. They're doing something. They're not just for fun to look at. I mean, they are fun, but like it's doing something. So yeah, it's a really great device. We have, so Hyperbaric is our core. We have 3 hard shell chambers, a soft shell chamber, and then we have a couple soft shells that we rent out. The soft shells are 1.3 ATA. So you guys understand, hyper means more and baric is pressure. So we're increasing the atmospheric pressure. When you go in a plane, it's decreasing it, right? So we're going down. So a soft chamber, 1.3 ATA, where we start this like 10 feet below sea level. I'm going to give you a little bit. 1.5 ATA is the true therapeutic value. That's 16.9 feet. We generally, at Desert Moon Wellness, if you come with me and start, we do our consults are a 3-step process depending on where you're at in your journey. If you're very low risk and you just want to optimize health, you feel good, just want to feel a little better, then you get me. If you need a little more, you're going to meet with my nurse next. And then you're going to meet with the medical director. And we all work as a team to make sure that we're very specific. We don't want to play guesswork with anyone. We want you to be involved in your journey, because this is the most important. You know yourself better than anyone that spends an hour with you a day or anything. Like, you know best. So we start there, and our wellness protocols go from 1.3 to 2.0 ATA. So this is 10 feet below sea level to 33 feet. And between these protocols, between these pressures, we can fluctuate and really get a lot of healing. That's when most of the treatment is going to your brain. When we go deeper than 2.0, that's when it crosses more into the central nervous system, and that's when we need a specific medical reason to go deeper. We don't ever let anyone go deeper unless there's a specific reason, and there's a lot of just incredible, we get to witness miracles every single day. So that's what's really amazing with that. And then we help you just stack it with other things. It's PEMF and light therapy are super synergistic to hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Everything has a purpose. The light therapy charges your ATP from the outside in. We utilize targeted light pads. Everything's medical grade with us. You have the 660 and 810 NM in our targeted light pads. We have brain, gut. We have a lot of athletes with certain injuries. So you just want to target that certain area. And then we also have a light bed that's super powerful. It's an arc light bed that pulses to get the light into the cells. You know, our cells like vibration. They like light. So it's very, very effective. It uses green, red, and infrared. And we also are very lucky to have different settings on that. We have a brain setting, inflammation, general wellness. So we are able to integrate that. For pulse electromagnetic field, we use a line mat. It's the best myo-PMF mat on the market. Again, talk to my friend Clark if you guys want to learn more about that. But I've had so many PMF mats, you guys, over the years, and it is the best. Yes, sir.
What is the science behind the lights transmitting into your body? What differs light colors to your body?
So they're different depths. You really want to, with light, it's the depth and the power. So the red goes about 7 layers deep. Infrared's going to go deeper into your tissues, and it's literally charging from the outside in. Our cells respond to light. That's why it's even healing watching the sunrise. It's all balancing you, but you can target to a certain area. It helps bring energy to that area. Some people that aren't candidates, aren't fit to get in the hyperbaric. And by the way, hyperbaric is our only medical modality, so you do need to be cleared. There's some people that can't go in, that just can't. So that's when we're going to use light to help decrease inflammation and increase circulation in that area of wherever you need it. Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm a little lost. You said how below sea level do you go?
So our chambers for general health and wellness protocols, we go 1.3 to 2.0. 1.3, so it's 10 feet below sea level to 33 feet.
So so you first have to get us down 2,300 feet.
So we start at 10 feet below sea level.
Say it again?
We start at 10 feet. So right now we're at 1 atmosphere, breathing 21% oxygen.
Oh, well, wait a second. We're 2,300 feet above sea level here.
But we're at 1 atmosphere.
1 atmosphere, what's that mean?
That's just what we're walking around at. We're walking at 1 atmosphere with 21% oxygen.
So 10 feet, is there that much more pressure?
There's a little bit, in my belief and what I've seen, I feel like that's all the FDA allows in the soft chambers. So it's better than nothing, and it actually works really well. The healthier and younger the mitochondria are, but Hyperbaric is about consistency too. So it is a great home option for people. So we usually are between 1.3 to 2.0, but we do have a chamber that goes to 3.0, which is 66 feet. We have a chamber that goes much deeper. We only utilize that on specific protocols.
So what about minors? Are they really healthy?
It depends.
Because they're way down.
Yeah, so usually some minors like children.
What, you didn't get that? Huh? A minor, yeah, it's like below. So so would that count? Would they be below?
Mining is not under pressure. Mining is just under the ground. When you get into atmospheric pressure underwater, that's pressure.
I should bring
Ventilation in a mine. It's not a sealed enclosure.
So yeah, actually, if you guys want to,
Oh, okay.
he's the most. That guy back there, my husband is amazing. He's been installing for the
I get it. I swear to God, I mean, like, yeah, because I thought if you were at sea level, then if you go below the sea, that would be more pressure.
Yeah, but we actually need the pressure to build around us to.
Think about what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a submarine guy. So we're going underwater. It's 44 pounds per square inch per 100 feet, correct? Yeah. So imagine that's 44 pounds per square inch per 100 feet. You've got all that pressure on your body. So that's why submarines can only go so deep, right? Because otherwise they would compress. Because you're putting all that water pressure. It's not about the sea level, but below the sea would be the water that creates that pressure.
Okay, I got it.
It's the same from sea level to Mount Everest. The oxygen saturation at sea level at Mount Everest is 21%. The only thing different is the pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so as soon as we go to 1.3, that little bit of pressure is helping our body onboard more oxygen. But the power is in the pressure. We like to say we thrive under pressure. We're all under pressure all day, every day, right? This pressure helps you feel some clarity. Yes, Dina.
Could you talk about wound healing? Because I've actually referred people to have hyperbaric. I'm not an expert, but I've done my degree. And even people who have plastic surgery or tummy tucks, anything that's wounds in the body, I know and believe with all my heart that I've read is that hyperbaric is very supportive.
Yeah.
Can you explain from your expertise? Because
Yeah.
I know somebody who needs to hear that message.
That's probably where Hyperbaric is known the most. And we kind of have a threshold. So you notice the healing in your tissues first. Although your brain is utilizing it and you're getting the healing there, we can't see it. We can't see the healing in our gut at first, right? And it takes time. You have to follow through on a protocol. But in the tissues, you can see it. So Hyperbaric is incredible. We have been so lucky to save so much tissue. I mean, you guys have no idea how quickly doctors shave nipples off women. We have saved so many nipples. Yeah, no one even thinks about that. Oh, go get it tattooed. No, thank you. I like to keep it. And yes, it's like, I mean, there's all kinds of toes, everything. Like, it's easy for, doctors to be like, let's just get rid of that. Actually, so in wound centers, there's a threshold. We only treat certain ones, and then some will require pure oxygen. But the best story I can tell you guys is 6 months after we opened, my husband was diagnosed with oncovasculitis, and he almost lost 4 fingers. He checked into, finally, he went down the functional route, bless his heart. We have doctors all around the country helping us get it to the root. 3 months into it, the guy was in an emergency situation. Nothing was working. We had Lyme diagnoses, all these different things. It was a really humbling moment because I went on a real, true, holistic path for a while. Never thought I would touch Western medicine again. And all of a sudden we were in this situation, and the doctors come in and they said, let's amputate all 4 fingers. We both sat on his hospital bed that night with his doctor. Like, why? Hyperbarics is working. His fingers were black down to the first mark. He can show you what they look like today. They were black. And the surgeon did not show up the next day. The surgeon did not show up. His hands are his life's work. Like, you might think a nipple's funny, but how about your fingers? It's not funny. Like, we can save tissue. People don't have to suffer. We can help. You know, your body is so smart given the right support. So he was in the hospital for 7 days. The surgeon didn't show up, you know, and they didn't even figure out his diagnosis in this time. It was a big medical mystery, which a lot of people end up in. And on the 7th day, they said the best thing you could do is go home and get in your chamber. At this time, our chambers didn't go deeper than 2.0 at Desert Moon Wellness. We had a chamber at home in our garage. He worked with the MD out of New York. He did a Russian protocol, 2.8 ATA, 3 times a day, ambient air, pressurized, but with an oxygen, and he saved all 4 of his fingers. It was incredible. So, like, that is just, you know, our purpose is to provide hope. It is our personal journeys, and I know what it's like to feel disconnected and alone, and I want everyone to feel whole and at one, and just realize, I mean, we are all connected, and the more that we pour into ourselves. Today is National Self-Care Day, and like, self-care is our health-care, you guys. There's a ripple effect. When we pour into this, it helps us pour out more. Yes?
Just to finish with her question, how plastic surgery helps hyperbarics. If you're able to front load your body full of oxygen before you go in for surgery, what's the first thing that happens when they cut you off? Necrosis sets in drastically. So as you're open on that table, whether it be for an hour, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever the surgery lasts, necrosis is setting in at a drastic rate. If you front load your body full of oxygen, your body's off-gassing oxygen as you're open on the table. So the necrosis rate drops drastically. How do you heal tissue? Oxygen. So as that tissue is fused back together after surgery, hyperbaric oxygen therapy is going to help infuse those blood cells in that plasma system so full of oxygen is now going to heal all your wounds at a rapid rate. So to answer your question, yes, hyperbaric before and pre and post-op is a game changer, 100%.
Yeah, so like, you know, we're just kind of like conditioned when things start looking better or feeling better, it's easy to stop, right? Like, a lot of people don't explore this stuff when they're feeling great. I hope they do. We want people to, and we're really trying to get the younger generations to explore. Our kids are all biohackers. They're sharing it in their communities because they've relied on light therapy and PMF. You know, they're athletes. They've had to learn this too. But I don't know what I was going to say. But yeah. Have anything else to add to that? Question?
What is Nanovi?
Okay, so Nanovi helps with reducing oxidative stress. Every breath we take creates oxidative stress. It sends a signal to your cells to repair, and it helps with protein folding within the cells.
I mean, is it pills? Is it light therapy?
So it's an inhalation therapy that you use a cannula. We stack it. So we do a lot of stacking. We're very mindful in our stacking and our protocols. Nanovi stacks very well with PEMF, Avicin, light therapy, and it helps to reduce the oxidative stress. And again, it's helping with the protein folding within the cells. So it's really good for brain health. And it's just, yeah, it's amazing. Actually, when he was really, really sick, that's when I really leaned into the community. We'd only been open for 6 months, and we used everything we kind of used on ourselves first, but Nanovi and PMF is something that helped bring his health back and get him vibrant again. It works very, very well. And OmniWave is a shockwave therapy that works more on musculoskeletal issues. We also have a Gainswave protocol for sexual health for men and women. And this year, January of this year, we partnered with Elite Med. Dr. Sharma couldn't be here tonight, but we are going to be building out some really more special things for the community. So more precision longevity care for people that are interested. Yes.
Okay, I got a question for you. Average person walking the street. Okay, why would that person want to come in your facility? And what would be the regimen of hyperbaric chamber? What would they do and for how long? You said something about 40 sessions. So I'm the typical person walking the streets. I don't have anything basically wrong with me. I mean, everybody's got minor stuff, but what would you do?
Yeah, this is great. Thank you. Brings me back to that thought I lost. So, when you come in, we sit down, we do a personalized consultation. It's not a one and done for anyone. And all the different pressures mean something. When you get a protocol, you should treat it like a prescription and you should finish it. That's what I was going to say is we start to feel better, it's easy to stop. So like, a lot of people, we work with a lot of surgeons in town and those protocols are usually around 10 sessions. Sometimes people will end up doing more because they realize the benefits. If you come in, we're going to sit down, we're going to do your initial consultation, see what's going on. You might say, hey, I feel pretty good. My doctor says everything's normal, but I'm a little foggy. It's probably just due to aging, a little joint pain. Maybe it's just this. We just kind of like get used and accept these things as we get older. And I don't play with that. I'm like, no, And so the first thing, the two main mechanisms of action is it reduces inflammation and increases circulation, which I think we can all use a little bit of. And so we would just build a protocol for you. I'll kind of tell you the benefits of 10, 20, 40, and why the 40 session standard. Dr. Daniel Amen and Dr. Paul Harsh have made those kind of the gold standard, and a lot of clinics and centers and doctors use them around the country. The reason is everyone has a golden hour, they call it, a golden moment in hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It meets you where your mitochondria is. So like a child or someone that's super healthy is going to have their golden hour a lot sooner. But 80% of people have it around 40 sessions, somewhere in the 20 to 40 session mark. Some people that have more degeneration are going to need 80 sessions. We don't really know. We kind of have an idea of the first protocol after your first initial consultation, and we use NeuroCheck. We're also implementing with Dr. Sharma some other ways to watch your interleukins and things and see how things are changing. Because we don't want to just ask you how you're feeling. We want to show you the data.
You have measurable results.
Yeah, we have measurable results. So around 10 sessions, that's going to be a great for anything nagging that's going on. And little nagging is going to be great. It usually, I would say, takes people about 10 to 20 sessions on average to notice anything. There's some people that come in like, oh, it made me feel great. And they just might feel great all the time. They might feel great that night. But if you really want to get yourself out of these ruts that we get in, you have to front load your system. And the reason is the magic happens when you get out of the chamber. It's not when you're inside. When you get out, so when you're in, the oxygen pushes all the pressure pushes the oxygen into your tissues. And when you get out, there's an offloading process. That oxygen comes back through your tissues. That's arguably about a 4 to 8 hour process. There's not an exact yet, but it's about a 4 to 8 hour process. So in the hyperbaric protocols, in that 40 standard session, the gold standard is you would want to do it under 2 months. So that every day when you're getting out of the chamber, you're up-regulating on a cellular level from your mind through all your tissues as that oxygen's offloading. And we're kind of like retraining the whole system. And what I love about it is just the clarity we get, because again, going back to our brain uses the most oxygen. So you really get a sense of clarity. So that 10 session protocols are reserved for pre and post surgery for very healthy individuals that don't need to worry about anything else, just that tissue we want to heal, because it's the tissue we see first. And then 20 sessions is when we start getting into angiogenesis and we're stimulating our own stem cell production. We reserve the 40 sessions for more long-term acute mitochondria breakdown. And really, if you don't have that, the cool thing about hyperbarics, if we don't have mitochondria breakdown, if we're just great, that's when it gets into the anti-aging and longevity, because your body's going to utilize the oxygen how it needs to. Some people come out and they feel a little tired. It's because we put you into parasympathetic mode and your body's healing. Some people come out and they're full of energy. Their body may not need to go into healing so much, and they're able to utilize the oxygen for energy. So a 40 session protocol, a super healthy individual with no issues can get benefits. And then someone with mitochondrial breakdown can get a lot of benefits too. We don't push people. Time, believe it or not, time is more valuable to us than money. Maybe some people might disagree, but that's what I find a lot. It's really hard to commit our time. And so it's hard for people to do the 40 sessions. We actually do a lot of home rentals to help how people finish them. But if you're gonna do 10, it's good. It's all about front loading the system. So like people that do the 40 session protocol, they're usually taking a longer break before we see them again. You know, there's people that start and they just do 1 a week or 2 a week and they come in on a regular basis, and that's great. We support them. But when we want change, when we want to like overcome these nagging issues that have been keeping us down and holding us back, we want to get it all. So
consistency is key.
Yeah.
You go to the gym 1 day a week, you're going to see improvement.
Yeah.
Coming in a couple times a week, you're going to see improvement. So if you expect to come in 1 day a week and do one diet and go, hey, I'm going to be amazing, probably not going to happen. Consistency is
What's angiogenesis? Since I don't have my dictionary close by.
So it's just your own red stimulation of your own red blood cells. And so we're then at that point creating new healthy red blood cells carrying oxygen throughout our system. You have the power to heal, and the chamber's just helping.
So you're recommending how often?
So it just depends. Most protocols we would need to do a medical consult, and most protocols it's about front loading the system. So it's not really about how often, although we will never live without a hyperbaric chamber in our home. I will always have one. And these days I just kind of go in when I feel like I need it. I know when things start creeping back. I used to be on quite a few medications and suffer from migraines and be in a whole different space. This thing changed my life. I've done 2 40 session protocols in the past 10 years. I love the chamber. Like, it's just amazing. And now I don't go in that often, but I feel like I know what it does for me now because I'm playing the game for myself. I am my best advocate. And I want you all to be too. And we're here to help.
Feel like when you did the 40 sessions, now how long did you go without doing a session, and did your body remind you that, oh, maybe I should go back in the chamber after so many months?
Yeah, so my first 40 session protocol was done in a 1.3 ATA in a soft chamber at home. And this is crazy and wild, you guys, but I actually started using the soft chamber when I was pregnant with our daughter, who our center is named after. I had a high-risk pregnancy prior. I had my boys in the hospital, epidurals, the whole 9 yards, left medicated, and didn't realize I didn't realize I had postpartum until like 2 years in. I'll say it like that. You know, I was like, and so about like 12 years ago, I'm sorry if I'm losing the question completely. Sorry if I'm losing the lead, but the 40 sessions. Okay, so when I went through my whole healing, and what happened is my body ended up getting pregnant. I'd had 5 miscarriages. I was told I could never get pregnant again. If I did, my body wouldn't carry. But I did this whole healing 360, and I carried. The doctors didn't think I would. And I wanted to go natural. I didn't want medication. I didn't want interventions. Because at that point, I knew that mental trauma is worse than any physical. I was no longer afraid of the pain of birth. No longer afraid. And you guys, I learned birth doesn't have to be painful either. I literally had our daughter looking into my third eye with my body opening up with no pain. I wish the labor was longer. Her name's McKenna Moon, and our place is Desert Moon after her. Like, it was incredible, like, just to see what we can do. And so my first couple sessions were when I was pregnant with her. We used it as an intervention instead of medication. I had some chronic issues, sciatica, migraines. And I was like, kind of had to weigh the difference. I had one MD in the US, I can't even say her name, because it's not approved. It's not studied, it's not research. I cannot recommend people to go in the chamber when they're pregnant. This was a personal decision I made. And the thing was, I balanced it out. Like, do I want to take pharmaceuticals? Do I want to take things that are disconnect me from oxytocin? The most important healer there is oxytocin, by the way, love. So like, I didn't want to be disturbed from that. So I did 3 dives while I was pregnant at 1.3, and it changed my life. Like, it literally I didn't have the pain. I was able to have the most empowered birth in my life. And then when my hormones dipped about 7 to 10 days postpartum is when I started doing my first 40 session protocol. And that really, truly replenished my brain and my body so I could just feel my absolute best. And that was just done at 1.3 ATA at home. And then later on, I had access to the deeper chambers. But doing that, yeah, like, I don't go in that often. Like, you know, I notice now if I really need the relief, I usually do about 3 to 5 in a row, and then I'm good. But I'm also doing everything. I do the simple, free, easy things. I ground, I go barefoot, I spend as much time in nature as possible. And the beautiful things, I feel like those things are the things we can do right now for our health span and longevity, the change we can make right now. Then you build onto this and you figure out your supplements, and then we can get into longevity and the precision care and things like that. But yeah, I feel like hyperbaric oxygen supports us the way nature intended, you guys. You know, the earth used to be more saturated with oxygen. We used to have less pollutants. And now we just have been accustomed to filtering out all these pollutants. We have less oxygen. So just even an hour in there with the ambient air, it's clean, fresh air, is so healing for us and so regenerating.
The best part of a chamber is it doesn't discriminate. Everything else in medicine is targeted. Hyperbarics doesn't care what's wrong with you, it just wants to help you on a cellular level. And that's the best part. You go to an orthopedic surgeon, try to rotate your cuff, what are they going to attend to? Just your cuff. They don't care about your TBI, your gut flora, your bum knee. Hyperbarics is just going to help you on a cellular level and doesn't care what's wrong with you. It just wants to help you. It just wants to put oxygen into your plasma and help you relieve inflammation. If you look at the root of every injury, ailment, or disease is what? Inflammation. No matter how you cut it up, inflammation is the root of everything. Reducing inflammation on a cellular level allows your body to do what it's meant to do, which is heal, recoup, and revive.
And to that said, like, it's so true, but that's why we offer multiple modalities, and we work with places like OsteoStrong and Body 20 and other places in our community, because inflammation is key. It's so important. It will help move the needle, but it's about supporting our body in all the ways, you know, and balance.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people, you can take all the inflammation away and there's still going to be issues. So that's why we do. It's all about balance and just understanding your own physiologic makeup and biology and understand what's going on. And also believing the power that you're not stuck with your genetics. You're not stuck with the way things were. We have choices. We are empowered.
Love it.
Okay? Thank you.